he leaves, we start going to hoofball again, we start losing shape, and we start getting run. And that's so limited and it's so desperate that I have to ask for Mount to play just to see these simple things. But it is
Exactly.
the reality of what we're in. Playing a 10 in Bruno just hurts us a lot. And trying
Exactly.
to play Mount at the same time, people now, and I'm gonna say this to the chat. Shout out to Temi, by the way. I'm gonna let
Hey,
Temi
bro.
get the mic in
Come
a
on, my
second.
bro.
The people right now in the chat, the United fans, you now need to make a decision. Do you want us to control midfields? Probably look a little bit more boring, a little bit more chaos, a little bit more edgy by taking out Bruno and keeping Mount in, and at least our midfield will keep shape, and we probably wouldn't be conceding a lot of the ball. Or do you want to get rid of Mount, play Bruno? But I will promise you, we will look very similar to the last 2 years, 3 years, where we don't
4 5.
control games, we play in moments, we have a lot of wasteful moments. We might win games, but it's never going to be convincing. And that's up to you to decide. Because I'm actually tired of this fan base. Every time I speak about someone, they tell me, I have an agenda against this guy. I have an agenda against this guy.
Yeah.
You would think with the way they speak to me is that we're winning and I'm just finding negatives to
Yeah.
just poke
Exactly.
at. Like, oh, we're such a good team, but I'm being like, no, we're not a good team. We've been losing for about 3 years. Today, by the way, if you guys don't know this, we with this today's loss, Ten Hag officially has more losses in the Premier League away from home
Then
than
he has to win.
wins.
Yeah.
He won 16, lost 17, and I think drew 6. We have a less than 50% in away games in 3 years. And people think when I say this, I'm trying to be it's just the reality, unfortunately. So you guys make your decisions. But until then, tell me, what are you saying, bro?
Yeah, bro. It was this game is so frustrating because it was there for the taking. And I think Ten Hag made a lot of tactical errors in that second half. Excuse me. The first half, I thought we were in control until the goal got scored. Like, I know a lot of people weren't a big fans of not playing a striker. I thought that's what we needed to do. I think people are overrating our teams in terms of how we control games. The only way we can control games currently is playing the way we played for the first 30 minutes. You feel me? Especially because we know that Bruno is going to play. Like, we just have to live in that reality. So the only way we can control games with Bruno in the team is if Mount and him, you have to play with 4 midfield players, right? You have to play with 4 midfield players, or we will be open, right? Like, if Ten Hag had any sense, he would have taken off Rashford at halftime and brought on Xerxes, right? So that you have more control. You keep Mount. If you want to throw Mount on the left, throw Mount on the left, right? Or if you want to throw Bruno on the left, throw Bruno on the left. So just so you have control of the game. But you take off, who did he take? He took off Mason. I think Mason Mount was injured, right? Or is that rumor true or not?
No,
I
I don't
think
think
yeah.
Mason Mount was injured.
I think
There
he
was
might
there
be
was
lying, to be honest.
there was a rumor that he was hurt. So I'm not sure what's true or not. But if he wasn't hurt and he took him off, listen, I'm not Mason Mount's biggest fan. There's a lot of people who hate him. I don't hate him as a player.
Yeah.
I think he's decent, right? But decent isn't 60 million pounds worth or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, he triggers the press. Like, Brighton gave up the ball in dangerous positions multiple times in that first 30 minutes, bro. And it's because of the pressure that Mason caused. I remember there was a moment where Ahmad, it was like he was in the box and he had an opportunity. This was before the Dalot cross, and he didn't have it right. But I think, again, people are saying, we need to relax. It's 2 games in, but no, this is a pattern. This is not something this isn't an anomaly. Did we miss chances? Yes. Did Brighton miss chances? Yes, they missed a couple big chances. But it's just like the basics. Like, when I talk to people about Man United who don't watch Man United, they laugh because I'm like, no, we don't do the bare basics right.
Yeah, exactly.
Put a midfield 3 together that works, right? Put a balanced midfield 3. If you put Bruno in a midfield with Casemiro and Mainu, it will not work. Ugarte is going to come in, right? If it's Ugarte, Mainu, and Bruno, I promise you it won't work. It will not work. It will not work. So people need to understand that. You feel me? Like, the first thing that a team needs is a proper team shape, bro. And we had that for the first 30 minutes, and then as soon as the goal went in, we put the heads dropped, all the things that happen regularly. And then Ten Hag made the wrong decisions at the wrong time. You feel me? And with all of that happening, we still almost got away with the game. The Xerxes thing happened. It is what it is. I'm not blaming Xerxes for being a striker and doing what he needs to do in that moment. It's just a fluke thing. But then, the final few minutes, bro, the defending for both goals is criminal.
It's scandalous.
It's criminal. Harry Maguire for both. Like it's just like I was doing my watch along, and I literally just screamed no. Like you could see it coming. You could see it coming, and it's just like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. This is like, what is this? What is this? What is this defending? And how Adinger gets that off, I'm with that's 4 players around him.
That's a good point.
Not fair play to him. The fact that he found the composure to hold the ball and do that. I wish my wingers can do that, bro. Imagine if one of our wingers did this. You think, bro, I don't even want to name names, but you think Garnacho or Rashford have the composure to hold the ball for a few seconds like he did there and pick out a pass like that? Imagine Garnacho did that. Omar would be running around with the Garnacho jersey that he has hung behind him.
Can we talk about our wide players for a second? Like the ones that play regularly? They're so bad. Like I don't think people understand how bad our wide players are, bro. It's Marcus Rashford. Oh my days. Oh, I think he's dead food, man. And here's the frustrating thing, because I think Adam and I have been following each other for years now at this point, right? And people, when Adam tweets about Rashford, if I tweet about Rashford, people will act as if it's like I'm saying something that's crazy. And every time when he plays bad, it's always there's something wrong with him, you know, like it must be the back surgery, it must be there's something going on. There's always something. This is who he has been. If you look, like, even for those who like GA, if you look at the totality of his career, he's on average like an 8 game.
Yeah, between 8 and 12 ish.
8, like that's where he is for his career. And we talk about him like he's Son. You feel me? Like he's like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's Son who's like 20 goal contributions every season. No ifs and like no Kane. He still get like, this is not that player. Like this is like
not that guy. It's not that.
And here's another thing. We don't score goals. I don't think people understand. Like, we do not score goals at all. Like, people will talk about, oh, you can't drop Rashford. If we bring Sancho on the team, he won't do any better. Fam, I promise you, Sancho will at least
more goals and concede less goals.
We'll score more goals because we'll actually retain the ball, smarter decisions. You feel me? Like, just the bare basics of football. Like, exactly. Are you telling me that Sancho can't give you a 6 out of 10 as opposed to the 2 out of 10 that we saw from Marcus Rashford today?
I don't think they're comparable. I don't think
it's just like, it's mind-boggling. Like, it just blows my mind. I don't think people understand how, like, it's confusing to me because Erik ten Hag, like, if you look at his Ajax days, and I hate going back there, like, he actually put a proper team together. So I'm just confused as to what's happening here. Like, what is it? I think it's the Bruno obsession.
Yeah,
and it's the Marcus, and I hate saying that. It's like he feels like he has to play those players. It's quite weak, to be fair.
That's a sackable offense. That's a sackable offense.
It's a fear of, oh, if I don't have these players who like give me the G, I can't win. It's like, no, play the right players. Like, I don't think in Erik ten Hag's time, I don't think we've ever seen our true, in my opinion, if we lay out our players, the best team, because he doesn't play it.
Exactly.
Like, people are talking.
The moment you rid yourself of Bruno, everything becomes simpler in team selection. Because at the moment, if you want to play Bruno, you have to sacrifice a winger or the number 9. That is too big of a sacrifice. But if the moment you start like entertaining the proposition of dropping Bruno, a whole world of possibilities opens up. You can start making combinations in the field. You can start playing wingers. You can start playing different type of number 9. Everything becomes. I'm not willing, because if there are some fans that if you ask them Bruno's best interest or the club's best interest, they're picking Bruno's side. Some fans are willing to not play the striker, whoever that is, just in order to keep Bruno in the team. That doesn't seem like loyalty to me, to the club.
No, I agree. One of my boys, shout out Elite Pundit, he said something really interesting. He's like, what we really should be doing is that quote unquote number 10 position. Mainu, Bruno, and Mount should be competing for that one place.
I agree.
That should be the competition. And then we figure out when we get Ugarte, Casemiro, whatever the case may be. But that's what we really need two midfielders. It's not going to happen. You feel me? But that's the reality. Mason Mount is he's an attacking player. Kobe Mainu, in my opinion, is an attack-minded player. Bruno Fernandes is an attack-minded player. And we play two of those people in midfield regularly.
Exactly.
You have to go ahead.
Yeah, so the thing people don't understand, if you put, for example, just a random example, if you put a midfield of Casemiro, Amrabat, and Mainu, that midfield will create more chances and we will score more goals, despite those three players being less attack-minded.
100%. 100%.
And this is something that seems, of course, it sounds like paradoxical, but this is how it works. For example, Iniesta, Xavi, and Busquets, the greatest midfield we've ever seen. Those players, like Xavi and Busquets,
I was just about to say that, bro.
None of them individually was creating a lot of chances on their own.
No,
it's just too good.
I agree. No, they just keep the ball. All they did was just keep the ball. That is literally what I don't think people I think because a team like Barcelona scored so many goals with that midfield, they think it was an attacking midfield, but in reality it wasn't. Iniesta, the more attack-minded out of the three of them, but still understood. He was positionally aware, understood discipline. If he played on the left wing, he tracked back. We're talking about the basics. That's the most frustrating part about this is people don't understand the basics of football. Unfortunately, most fans, most fans just don't understand the fundamentals of football. So when we talk about things like this, people think we're picking on players. If Ten Hag feels like he has to play Bruno, play him. You have to play him the way we play. We have to play the way we played for the first 30 minutes. I don't think it's the most efficient use of our team. But if Bruno is just a must, you have to drop a striker. You have to drop a wide player. That's just.
This is why he got played in the wing a lot over the last 2 years.
Yes,
when you really think of it. By the way, shout out to Oski for joining the stream.
I didn't know who that was, man. I don't see.
I know I could hardly see him. I thought it was Omar, but I could hardly see him.
Yeah, love, my bro. Hope you're good, man.
What's up, my Adam? A long time, Habibi. I'm in.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while. Hope you're good, my bro.
It's been a while. Tell me, Wagwan, bro. What are you saying, bro?
What's good, Brody? I'm good. Hope you're good, bro.
Not bad. I'm driving home, so I was listening to you guys speak. And then
be safe, man.
This is a good conversation. No, love. We got advanced technology nowadays, brother. Cars that drive itself. Now, go ahead. I'm listening. There's some stuff I definitely agree on. But honestly, I saw the game much different. The Mason Mount, I think we were all spot on with that. Personally, bro, I thought, and I told Staffy this, I thought it was a good performance. And I personally think there was just what cost us the game is just individual errors. 2 very soft goals, and we could all be honest. Obviously, if Garnacho's goal, if that nonsense would have happened, game might have been different. But at the end of the day, we did not take the 3 points. But let's be also fair. Credit to Brighton, they're actually a good team. They're a sneaky good team. But I personally think we were just the better team overall. But my issue is with this whole game is just the 2 big players that we rely on a lot or expect the most out of. And I think Staffy made great points there too when he compared the Scott McTominay. Thinker.
Is it me or are we losing?
Omar's a little bit in and out. It's probably on a bridge or a tunnel or something. Omar, repeat that point. You said I made a good point on who?
Did I cut off?
Yeah, you did cut off.
On the Scott McTominay and Sancho part, right? Yeah, so the Scott McTominay and the Sancho part. But there's players who are consistently dropping stinkers, right? I think it's time to I'm and Temi could know, Staffy, you know, Adam, you probably know as well. When it comes to Marcus Rashford and Bruno, I'm the biggest one to defend them. But today, it's just you cannot defend that performance. There's nothing you could do. There's nothing you could say. And to defend that performance, it's just all right, you're clearly just delusional at this point. But both of them were giving the balls away. There was no hustle. There was no energy. And it just no work rate. There was just nothing where there was like a factor that these guys have could even just change the game at this point. Like, I really thought he was going to take Marcus Rashford off at half. I was like, okay. And then when Garnacho came in, granted, I'll be fair, Ahmad was terrible the first half.
Yeah, he didn't play well. He didn't play well the first half.
He was terrible. So it was just a lot going on. But the second half came in and it was just a whole different ball player. Even that goal he scored, yeah, granted it was a deflection, but that was going in regardless.
Yeah.
But that's the little stuff you expect from your big boys now that been on these 10 for ages, that's been dealing with this. And certain games like this is where you expect that. Like, it's time to step up to the plate. But honestly, give me Liverpool, my boy. We move.
No, yeah. I mean,
That's all I'm
this
saying.
no for real. We'll probably play better against Liverpool.
That's all I'm saying. No, well, definitely because, bro, like I said today, a lot of some people are coming, oh, we didn't have an identity. That's all lies, bro. We could all be honest. That was all lies. If you know football, we know we were much better. We were much better shape, organized football. It's just I don't want to say it's the United luck. It's just nonsense. It's little errors that could cost you literally a whole game. And these are the games you want to win.
You know,
Omar,
I'm not too mad about the result because I agree that mistakes here and there. My problem is the good things we do, we seem to do it against the manager's will. This is not what he wants to do. He wants Bruno to play, but he doesn't. He wants a striker. We can't work out. We look shapeless. After it's the start of the third year, and we're still chaotic. He still doesn't understand that he has to make tough decisions for what's best for the team. This is because Maguire mistake, the offside goal. This happens in games. Like we can't be too mad about it. Just sometimes you play well and you lose, and it just. But the thing is, we play well and we lose. We never play well. Like even when we win, it feels terrible.
Yeah, I think for me, like Omar, the frustrating thing for me is that I think Brighton were there for the taking, right? And then because I don't think Brighton played that well. Honestly, the same thing last week. Everton for 55 minutes were giving Brighton a good game, right? Like the possession stats were quite equal, right? Everton won the ball back high up, very similar to our first half. Won the ball back high up the pitch, almost had a penalty. You feel me? Very similar. But then when the goal went in, I think there was tactical mistakes that Ten Hag made in that second half that made us lose control. Like, I think we did have a shape in the first half. Like, I could see how we were trying to press in the first half. I saw a shape, right? I saw when we were on the ball. I think there was little moments with Mason Mount. He had a couple decent give and goes. There was a couple plays with Dallo and some interplay. Like, there was positive things in that first half, but again, a lack of in-game management. Mind you, I think I heard this today. The Brighton manager used to work for Ten Hag. I think he worked under Ten Hag.
He was his player when he was coaching the Bayern reserves.
Got you.
He managed him when he was 20 years old, apparently. 11 years
bro.
ago.
This guy's like my age, and he's beating Ten Hag well, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Like,
Timmy, to your point, which I think is a very, very good point, like because we've had a good few combinations and good passage, but the fact that we are clipping this on the third season, says quite a lot. Because I don't think we can make a compilation of more than 2 minutes of good passage of play.
I agree with that. And that's for me, as soon as Ineos once this summer started, I kind of just said, I'm viewing this as we're starting fresh with Ineos, right? This Ten Hag is kind of surplus the requirements to me. I don't think he's going to be here next year. I really don't. I don't see it. They extended his contract for a year. I think if we're in 6th or 7th, right, in December, I think they'll sack him and just let Ruud, vibes for the second half of the season. So I'm viewing this as a process because I like the players we signed, right? I see the potential of the players that we signed. I don't think Mazraoui had his greatest game. I thought he was below average today.
Good.
You thought he was good today? I don't think he was.
No, I thought, if anything, I honestly thought him and Diogo. I thought Casemiro did well too. I thought Maino was good.
I thought Dallo was good. I thought Maino was okay. I thought Casemiro was okay.
But Mazraoui,
I think one of the positives is that we have decent fullbacks.
Yeah.
That's
what I'm saying. Go ahead, Omar.
My bad, Timmy. But once Ahmad got into the game, Mazraoui started to look good.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mazraoui it was like an effect. it was an effect of Ahmad. Ahmad was just so out the game, so there was no link up. Once the second half, Ahmad started cooking. Now Maserati was able to exploit more options because Ahmad was on the move. The first half, Ahmad was just, he wasn't as direct. He was giving the ball away too much, just like the other side. Like him and Rashford were just atrocious, bro. They were not good the first half.
It's a team game.
But the second half, and of course, and at the end of the day, bro, they're human beings. I'm gonna expect people to not perform 100% every game.
Yeah, especially
but then
Ahmad.
second half, and especially what he went through with his family. Second half, he came and he put the tick on. He came and he put the tick on and he said, "What's up?" That's my issue. My issue is at the end of the day, look at City. They went down in the first 7 minutes, and what happens? Like that's when the let's pick this shit is automatically. Let's clock the fuck in. Once you go in, let's clock in. It's time. I don't feel like there's still.
You see the difference though, Omar, is like they're so well drilled that like even when they're down 1-0, it's like it's nothing to them. Like it's the muscle memory that those players have in terms of their patterns of play, the way they press. Like it's not easy. It's not hard for them to bounce back, right, and just shake it off and be like, all right, let's just keep. They just say let's keep playing the way we play, and we're gonna win this game, even if we're down. You know what I'm saying?
Because they know
like,
they're going to create.
Exactly. I would argue, like I said, I would have brought on Xerxes, but taken off Rashford and kept the shape. Keep the same shape. You know what I mean? Just move Mason Mount to the left. We have more energy on the left now. There's more pressing from the left. There's Mason Mount's decent on the left-hand side, right? At least we're going to get some work there. But he took off Mason Mount. We lost control of the game because of that. Like I think to your point, like I think Mazraoui didn't play well in the first half and Ahmad, but then there was a bit of a pickup, right? But there was still a lack of control, right?
Yeah,
there was still a lack of control in that second half.
100%. I agree, bro.
No, absolutely. Listen, I'll be honest with you. Obviously, with the Mason Mount getting hurt, that's a different story. I was when he did the first substitution, I was not mad at it. I was like, okay, you know what? Makes sense. You got to bring in Xerxes, and he brought in who else? He made 2 substitutions after the first half, right? Or was it only one?
No, only one. He only brought on Xerxes. Oh, after that, yeah,
no. So
he did.
at halftime,
he brought on Garnacho and De Ligt.
Yeah, around the way. Yeah.
And then he brought Garnacho, De Ligt, and
Anthony
McTominay.
much later on.
Yes, and McTominay, right?
I forgot.
Yeah, so that substitution, the McTominay, because honestly, I didn't think Anthony's little 5-minute cameo was going to hurt the game. He actually almost got us a goal. So, and at the end of the day, we paid $100 million for that guy. So that guy needs to get minutes. That guy needs to get minutes in case we ever want to sell him. That guy needs to get minutes to at least bring some confidence on. That's the perfect way to at least ease him right into the team. So it's not like he's going to sit there and rot forever. So that I was not disappointed with that substitution. Which more substitution I was disappointed about was the McTominay substitution. And I think Harry Maguire should have carried out the game. Granted, he did have a soft mistake.
I agree with that.
I think he had a soft mistake in the beginning, but it doesn't. I'm not going to take away a whole performance that he was having. It's not like he was shitty and old Maguire from the past that we would get moments of. You know, personally, I just think the Bruno situation. As much as what I'm thinking is this is where last season football came in. Let's hoof the ball to the middle. Dudes like McTominay, a towering guy in the 9 or in the 18-yard box, get his foot or a header in, and then call the game quit. I don't think that should have been the type of style. I think it should have been like just keep Bruno in because at the end of the day, as much as Bruno was shitty today, all it could take Bruno give you that what a pass in the game. Now we in the game again. No, so
I hate relying on that, bro. I hate relying on the moments, bro.
I'd rather rely on that than hoof ball to McTominay for the last 7 minutes of the game.
I hear that. I think
because if you look at it, 2 towering dudes came off the bench, so you knew what was coming up next. Let me hold the defensive line.
I hate that, Omar. I hate that we brought on Xerxes to do that, bro. He's not Fellaini, bro. I know the Afro might be confusing, but bro,
no, I'm talking about De Ligt. I'm talking De Ligt and when he did De Ligt McTominay, because you know that was
the De Ligt thing, bro. Wallahi, bro, he just brings on the De Ligt just to remind us, hey, I spent money. I'm just gonna use him. Bro, you ever bought something useless in your house? You're like, I don't know why I spent money on this, so I'm just gonna use it today. Like the other day, bro, I realized that I have wine glass. I don't drink wine, and I have wine glasses. I was like, I'm gonna drink juice in it. Just because I have wine glass that I spent money in and I never use it. I was like, I don't drink wine, so why do I have wine glasses? I was like,
No,
I just want to
Safi,
feel justified why I bought this. So I drank juice in it. That's what he does with Delict. He's like, I bought Delict. Let me just bring him on for 10 minutes just to remind people, hey, listen, I spent money for him. Yeah, he started with Maguire. We know he's going to take over anyways. That's what he does
Yeah.
with
In
Maguire.
case you don't know, they have halal wine. I tried it the other day. It was actually pretty good. So
The apple cider during
no, it's literally tastes like wine, but there's no alcohol. It's actually pretty good. For me, so
look that up.
I'll
As a kid, I
get
used
you
to
a
go to
bottle.
Stop and Shop. I used to buy the apple cider around November, around what's it called, Thanksgiving. And I used to pretend that I'm drinking wine. I'm like, oh yeah, look, I bought wine today, and it's just literally
I'll
apple
send-
cider in a green glass.
Oh yeah,
I'll send
I know
you a
what you're
bottle.
talking
I'll send you a bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon, and it's gonna be a nice bottle of halal red wine, and we sip it together, inshallah. And then we got to
Hey,
sip
bro.
the wines. But more to the story, don't waste your money on wine glasses, ladies and gentlemen. That's really the moral of the story. But
They're on sale
let's
at
be honest.
Marshalls, to be honest. So.
it's at the end of the day, like I said, as much as I'm gutted, it's a patience game, and it's better than what I was seeing last season. So I'm gonna ride this one out. Obviously, it's too early in the season to be like, oh, but these are the games that matter. Let's be honest. Going to the Amex Stadium away, the Mongaloo, these games, the fucking the Goodson Park, like those are the games where you want to go get those 3 points.
I worry he's
But-
gonna go all out attack versus Liverpool and play like Garnacho, Ahmad, Xerxes, Bruno.
I think,
Man,
I
Manu
think we need to have this
Casemiro.
conversation later down this week when you speak about the Liverpool game. Are we starting Rashford next game? By the way,
If he
I would have put it
starts-
past us to win, by the way, against Liverpool, because you know
No,
what?
me neither.
That Liverpool game is not going to be organized. It's going to be a
No,
chaotic game.
it's chaos. It's gonna be chaos
Yeah.
ball for sure.
When we play organized teams, we don't win. When
Yeah.
the game is a basketball game, a
You have a chance.
tennis game, a ping pong, and we actually have a chance. I wouldn't really put it past us. We would be the team to throw away a game.
And
versus
we're
Brighton
home. We're
and
home.
beat
We're
Liverpool.
home, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think-
we're-
Yeah, we have to win that game, and this is why this game is so frustrating. Is because now the pressure going into this Liverpool matchup. Like, imagine if we had gotten six, because Ten Hag has never won his first two games. He's never gotten 6-6 to start a season, right? Imagine if we had gone in 6-6, right? We're going into Liverpool. We just said let's keep it going. Let's keep the momentum going. The confidence is high, but then when you lose in that fashion, and now the pressure. I think Ten Hag is going to feel the pressure, right? I think Rashford's going to start because Rashford has a good record, in Big Six games in terms of goals. In terms of
I
GA,
personally
so-
don't think he should start if Sancho.
Oh,
still
absolutely
stays in
not.
If the Juve talks, I think it's like, yo, it's time to drop some dudes, and like, yo, depending on how dudes quote doing training and how people need to quote fight for this spot. I think as much as Sancho needs to fight, and you guys know him. In the beginning, I was a big Sancho fan, but now I'm just totally over him. And once I check out on a player, I definitely check out. But to be fair, let's be honest. Hey, he's not that much. He's not that much worse than Rashford, because if he's
10
ass and the
times
other one's
better.
ass.
He's better
So-
than Marcus
so
Rashford.
So one is the left ass and the other one is the right cheek. It's two cheeks.
Nah, you know what? The
Steph-
last competitive game Sancho played was at the European Cup final.
Facts. Like,
But
why
let's
are people? Why?
let's
Wait,
do that. Let's not do
here's
that.
no.
Tell me-
Let's do
tell me-
it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
We're talking
Tell me,
talent.
tell me,
Let's
tell
do
me,
it.
Habibi, tell me we did
Let's
this
do it.
Tuesday. Let's not. This is not deja vu.
Let's
We
do
did this
it.
Tuesday.
I'm ready.
We're not gonna do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm not doing this, bro. I'm not doing this. Marcel Sabitzer plays the damn game too.
And,
let's not do
he should be playing for us right now. He should be playing for us right now. He would help our team. Marcel Sabitzer would help our team. He's a baller.
But
He's a
he was
baller.
there. He was there. That was the narrative. Let's just not, bro.
He played well. I thought he played well when he was here. He just got hurt a lot.
I honestly never had. I always said that we replaced him with Mason Mount, and he was like about 40 million more cheaper.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That was always.
He
my
just got.
narrative.
I think he had some injury. He just had a little, but he had some injury issues while he was here. To be
Ian
fair, so-
Madsen was starting left back. Now he
nice.
has Villa riding bench. He's nice, but he's not. He's not.
He's gonna
it.
he's gonna
not
he's
it
gonna
yet.
he's gonna get in the side. I'm not worried about Ian Matson. Like, why? Here's my
Why
frustration.
would,
Right?
every time I bring Omar on the chat, we end up having a essential slander.
Bro, I
fest.
didn't say nothing. All I said is let us do it. Mr. Temi over here gets excited per se every time he hears Sancho. He wants to stick up for the big bro. Cool, I get it.
But to be
But
fair,
it's
Omar,
wrong,
Omar,
it's-
Omar, let me do some.
You said Sancho is not much worse than Rashford.
Yeah,
which
let me
is
so
still
let me control this convo a little bit and just make something to make sense out of it. What I feel like Temmy's doing here is Temmy's looking at our wing performances, which, let's be honest, Omar, it's been horrible. It's been very bad over the last season and this season.
I didn't disagree.
You
think our
okay?
wing
You
is
didn't
doing
disagree.
well?
I get you. When Temmy says that, it's because I don't think Temmy thinks that Sancho comes in and he's probably our top goal scorer in that front line. I don't think he thinks that at all. When Temmy looks at Sancho, and by the way, I'm not just saying this because like I just want him to play. I actually want him sold. I've had enough of this. But when you look at our wing play today, it's very hard to look at what we had and then look at what Sancho does from his sample size with Dortmund and even with us, and you're like, you know what? He'll do any worse than what Rashford did today. He'll do any worse than what I don't think Garnacho was good when he came on. I don't think that's a bad take. Sancho probably doesn't score a goal today because we weren't creating enough, but I think he holds the ball better. He moves the ball around better. We probably would sustain some attacking in that the final 15 minutes that we didn't do today.
And someone
Like
else
our
scores.
wing play today was actually like the bar for me can't be lower than this.
Bro.
The fact that Rashford has 0 shots in 2 games is shocking. Like I
Like-
don't.
Yeah,
If we're gonna go
that's
for
why I
0
said
shots, give me a technical player.
Our front three last
That's why
season
he should've
was.
started.
Our front
Yeah,
three
but that's why
last season.
Tammy is making a case for him. That's all he's
Yeah.
doing. By the way, he's speaking about because he's
No,
the option that we have. I'm pretty sure he would
No,
address
and
someone in the
I
market
said
if he could.
just like, but this is my thing. Just like I said, yo, when people quote, "I have to fight for this spot," I think it's fair enough. Quote, people need to show in training, show quote, whatever, all that Ten Hag quotes he be dropping. It should be fair enough. Then Rashford shouldn't be up there. And then now it's time to rotate Sancho in. Now it's time for him to prove, okay, let me see what you got to do. Here's Liverpool. Here's Liverpool. Show
Nah,
out.
if
What do
you
you
bring
think,
in
bro?
Sancho against Liverpool, I think it's unfair to him. It's putting him out
Oh,
there.
I don't think he scored. He scored against them before. I don't think
Yeah,
it's
but
unfair.
he hasn't
scored
played
against
for
them
us
before.
in forever. Like like it's this more sabotage than anything. Like for example, Matthias De Ligt, and I was happy with Maguire starting because you don't bring in someone just like that and drop him in. I don't think
But it's not fair.
anyone.
But we did the
He's
same
not
with
fit.
Mazarawi, bro.
He's not game fit.
Drop Mazarawi right in, and dudes have to. That's what you get paid for.
But
bro. You
we
get
don't
paid-
have fullback, so
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a different case. Like we generally don't have any other fullback, so he was always going to start.
I agree because Luke Shaw is made out of paper.
We're not doing
Yeah,
this.
he is. He is. He is. He is. He is.
We're not doing this.
No,
Not
but
every day.
I just
One
think
day-
my
one day
frustration
let's
is
give
like
up.
when I look at our wide players last season were Marcus and Garnacho, right? They played a majority of all of the games, right? And I asked myself like, how many who are they? What wide pair in like the league are they better than like in the top 10? Like who are like are they better than Leon Bailey and oh my goodness, I'm losing this. Jared Bowen?
Nah, not a chance.
Or not Jared Bowen, excuse me.
Bailey and
what
what the fuck did I play in the left?
I know his name is it was Diaby last season, but yeah, just
Can't think. Of it.
they're just
Like
not
Zaniolo.
the point I'm trying to make is they're not better than almost any wide pairing in the league, like in the top half of the league.
No,
and we
100%.
talk we talk about them like we can't drop them, and that's what's frustrating to me. Like, okay, Ahmad had a bad first half, right? And I saw so many people on Twitter like, "Oh, we gotta drop him, sub him off." And I'm like, bro, I've seen Garnacho and Rashford stink the place out week
30
in,
games
week out.
in a row.
30 games in a row, no questions. Like, we can't give Sancho 10 games in a row. Let him stink the place out for 4. Like, he wouldn't do that, by the way. But let him stink the place out for 4 games in a row. Why can't we do that? Like, that's my frustration. Is like it'd be one thing. It'd be one thing if our wide players were like there was real good competition. Like, you know, Son was on our team, or you name the wide player, bro. It doesn't matter. Name your favorite wide player.
The Sakas, the Bernardo.
The Sakas, yeah. But we don't have that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have that.
Because
none of our wide players will start for a top team.
Because you know what? Last season, Garnacho and Rashford, they both didn't score a lot of goals, and they
No.
both did not put good performance. Because if you don't score but you play well, I can accept it because the team will score or someone else will score. That's fine. But you know what, Temi, going back to what you were saying, my dad noticed that years ago with the United fan base. Some players, based on who they are judged on the good things they do, and other players are judged only on the bad things they do. Like, for example, Rashford will get a good dribble and a good goal, and he will get judged on that only for weeks to come. And
Right.
Ahmad had a below average first half for the first time ever, because I don't think Ahmad ever put a bad performance for us, and everyone was calling for him to get dropped. So the standard, the evaluation is not based on the same
not.
standards, and that is not okay. That is
Right.
not okay. Sancho, for
agree.
example, is judged on only the bad things he does. Pogba
Right.
was the same.
Mhm.
Bruno is judged only on the good things he does. But if you take a look at the bad things, God help us. The
It
list
outweighs.
Because
I
it's
like-
easy. It's easy, Adam, to look at the GA and to justify bad performances. Whereas there's players that could put in a good 90, but they didn't have any highlights. No
Right.
one is going to remember it.
exactly.
You don't
And you're
see
comparing-
you don't
yeah.
see good build up in the highlights. You don't see
No.
good touches and smart play in
No.
the highlights. You don't see good defending in the highlights. You will see an assist, a shot on target, or a goal. And that's
Mhm.
where people justify, oh, look, he did this. Like Garnacho then when he scored, I was so worried that people now are saying, yeah, he needs to start over Ahmad because he
Oh, yeah.
scored as soon as he
And
came
it's
on.
coming, it's
And I'm
coming.
like, he was in the right place in the right
Yeah.
time. Obviously, he got unfortunate there. But let's be honest, he didn't really make an impact in the last few minutes. And it just showed you that when he didn't have someone like Bruno playing the ball for him, and someone like Ahmad on the right side, because we had Anthony at that time, he just looked like a fish out of water. He couldn't even create little chances to himself where he beats a man and then puts the ball in the box or something. He doesn't really have that in this game. And that's what I'm saying. I think all of our wingers, bar Ahmad, are just very limited. This is why we shouldn't be sitting here and saying any duo deserves to start. Other than Ahmad, who actually had a bad game and still managed to get a GA and still managed to get a good half in before he got subbed off. None of these guys I rate as 90-minute players. I
No,
really don't.
And you know what? Another thing, Safi, we're here talking about players comparing this one to this one, but the outcome can only be judged as a collective. Minus goal difference in the Champions League, minus goal difference in the Premier League, finished 8th, 57, 58, and 57 goals scored consecutively in the league. We can compare this player, Bruno's the best, and Garnacho and this guy, or at the end, we're a poor team. So you need to look at the
Facts.
constant,
Facts.
and judge it based on that. Everything's changed, not a certain set of players and the manager. But that
Mhm.
tells me that is where the problem is. Because
And
it's
that's
a team game. Because whatever happens is the whole is always bigger than the sum of its parts. So you can put
100%.
defensive player and end up scoring more goals. And this is
100%.
something people struggle to understand.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, bro. I think people genuinely don't understand. Like, there's some like how you mentioned like the good things that people give Bruno props for. Like the things I give Bruno props for, people don't give him props for. Like the goal we scored against Fulham, like that little drop of the shoulder into Xerxes, that's beautiful. Like, but people will not talk about. Like, no, I didn't see anyone on the TL say anything about that little piece of play he did, because it didn't lead to a GA. But that's arguably the most important part of that goal was Bruno alleviating some pressure, dropping his shoulder, which he doesn't generally do.
He doesn't do that a lot. It's out of character. Yeah.
And then playing that just simple pass into Xerxes. Like, people don't like that is what I need to see more of. Like, and that's in my opinion, that's what Sancho does, right? In the States or in the, I don't know, North America, we call it the hockey assist. You feel me? The pass that leads to the pass that leads to the assist.
Yeah.
You feel me?
It's a useful stat that.
Yeah. Like people don't understand how important that is. You feel me? Like those things are so important, but Bruno doesn't do that regularly. I'm going to let you know now.
There is a stat for that. That's actions leading to goal, which is basically the pass to the assist, or you do something in the attack that led to that goal, which I think is a very underrated stat. Mm-hmm. Because people, as you said, people don't see the pass to the assist, or even today. I think what was it? I think Casemiro, that ball that he played today to Ahmad, and then he obviously did the overlap to Bruno, and then we scored and was offside. But that also starts with that breakup of play for Casemiro to end that. If you don't do that, we don't score that goal. But it probably doesn't make the highlight. You know what I'm saying? So people don't look at these things.
Exactly. And you know what? Another thing that would be very interested is when the player makes a pass, how often does the receiver of the ball succeed in making a pass as well? because you can make a pass that is just difficult to receive, but it's a completed pass, but it's a useless pass or a dangerous one. And I think that maybe you can find it, but I don't think it's a difficult stat to. It's a difficult stat to describe in the first place. Going back to what you were saying, Timmy, about Bruno, people when they describe it's high risk. High risk is not a good
High
thing.
risk, high reward.
Yeah. Reward, like we had like 2 trophies in 6 years. And negative goal difference. So we need to reassess what the high reward is, because it doesn't.
But boys,
fit my
I'm gonna
definition.
jump off. I'm gonna jump off.
Love,
Yeah,
love,
we're gonna
bro.
wrap up in
Yes,
2
love.
Love,
anyways.
Adam, Ashubak, I need this. We talk soon, inshallah.
Inshallah. Inshallah.
Habibi,
bro.
I'm gonna holler at you.
Love, bro.
Love you
Yeah,
too.
and I'm seeing comments saying like, Bruno is our most creative player. I disagree. Like I think chances created is an extremely overblown stat. I think assists can also be a very overblown stat. Like if you like, I don't think people understand like high volume and low efficiency is not a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
Terrible.
In basketball, we call that good stats, bad team guy. That's what we call that. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't like for me. Like people, a lot of people. I'll use this player as an example. A lot of people criticize Jude Bellingham, right? But if you look at it, I personally like him as a player. He's a high volume, highly efficient footballer. Like there's no like he completes a high amount of passes. The way he passes the football, all these different things, bro. Like Bruno is the opposite of that. High volume, low efficiency. Like people, he's so creative. You feel me? No. If it takes me 20 attempts to pull off something, you're not that creative. Like I remember he scored a goal with a nice goal with his left foot last season, right? I remember he tried so many times last season. He shot with his left foot and he just rosy, bro. But he scored that one. He scored that one with his left foot, so he's good with. No, that's not how that works.
Exactly. And another thing, you can't measure creativity by definition. It's not something that is measurable. We just find a way somehow by converting it to assist, but it's not an accurate. How do you compare the creativity between 2 paintings or 2 sculptures? You can't measure creativity by definition because it's creative. And in order to have creativity, you need to have order before. Otherwise, it's shapeless chaos. And they talk about high risk. High risk is not a good thing. It's like driving fast without a seatbelt. That's not good. That's very high risk. But it's high risk for a reason. You could hurt yourself. And this is I'm just
It's
fed up, man.
frustrating. Yeah,
You know what?
I
This conversation is not good for me before bed.
No,
man.
I know, man. I know. I think the challenge for me is like, I wish more people understood understood what we were talking about. Like people think this is like, listen, I want Bruno to play. Like I want Bruno to do well. Like I want Bruno to be the best number 10 in the league. Like he's not, but I would like.
I would love it.
I would love it. But the reality is, it's just not the case, right? Like we argued about this last season, Staffy. James Madison. I think James Madison is a better player than Bruno Fernandes.
Oh, it's not
like,
close.
I keep on like. I watched him today. I'm just like, how do people see James Madison and Bruno and think Bruno's better than him? Like, I just don't get it.
I don't get it.
I just don't get and I think most people, like, as I'm saying this, people will think I'm crazy. No, James Madison is a better footballer than Bruno Fernandes.
I don't think it's
like,
I don't think it's outrageous. Like that.
No, yeah, like people like
it's a topic that a debate that I've had a few times. I'm not gonna lie, I like James Madison. He's easy in the eye. I think you could see what he does more effective on the ball than Bruno. I think the one thing that lets him down, and that's why I said he's not regarded as a bigger player than Bruno, is that I feel like he fades away in bigger moments. He fades away later in games, and he fades away later in the season. And I think one of the reasons is down to not just his mentality, because I feel like that's always a lazy argument. People love to talk about mentality too much instead of actually analyzing the game. I think his physicality usually lets him down, and he doesn't really like when you compare the moment that Bruno turns up with in late games versus Madison. It kind of makes him win the argument a little bit more. If Madison had those two things, I don't think there would be a debate. Because as I said, I look at what Madison does. The fact that Madison can play a little bit more like Odegaard, where they both drop a little bit deeper, play like eights. Bruno doesn't have that. But we'll always justify Bruno being picked over him. It's just the big moments. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing. If Madison can add, I'm not gonna lie, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
But Staffy, let me push back on that, because what are Bruno's really like? What are his big moments? I would say the FA Cup final. I think he played fantastic.
Yeah,
You know, I thought he was very good in the FA Cup final. But what are his defining moments as a Manchester United player?
When I say big moments, I'm just talking about like GA, unfortunately.
Yeah, okay, but
As,
yeah,
as superficial
like,
as it sounds,
no, I
it
hear that.
really is what I'm referring
Yeah,
to.
Bruno scores more goals, but again, I watched. So a couple weeks ago, just I don't know why I did this, but just for fun, I watched Bruno Fernandez's all the goals. Right, it's so the penalty, the amount of penalties he had in that first season, bro.
Scandalous.
I mean, we were Manchester United, bro. Like literally, it's penalty, open play goal, penalty, open play goal, penalty.
Yeah,
I'm like, bro, he scored so many penalties. And listen, being a great penalty taker is a
Nice.
great skill. Like I'm not disparaging him for that. I'm just saying it's a bit fugazi. You feel me? To me, Bruno's biggest weaknesses: lacks positional awareness. Number one, not good in tight spaces. Number two, and his ultimate struggle for me is not understanding, like when things go left for us, he loses his head.
Exactly.
He loses his head, and
there's
like,
no coming back. Like he can't help himself. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because you can lose your head for 5 minutes, but if you compose yourself, okay, good. Now once it's gone, it's like a switch.
It just switches. He just goes into hero ball mode. He just loses his cool. Because
I agree.
I think the most frustrating part for me for Bruno is like I've seen him play for Portugal. I mean, I don't think he plays great for Portugal, by the way, but at least he's just doing the simple things right when he plays for Portugal, right? Just he's not the main guy on the team, right? He's not the best player by any stretch of the imagination, right? But he just keeps it like I see he's capable of doing that, but he chooses not to. Yeah, but he chooses not to do it when he's playing for us because he's the main man. He's the 300 K a week guy now. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just it's jarring to me. I'm sorry. I just I heard someone say we'll go as far as Bruno and Mount take us. I'm like that's not very far, man.
Yeah,
like,
that's backwards.
that's not a good thing to say. You know what I mean?
I think we improve overnight. And I see you have a show with Ricky tomorrow, I think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tune into that thing, bro.
For that, but,
it's too early,
like
but I'm
Ricky
gonna
always
tune into
say, and I speak to him like almost every day at this point.
Mhm.
Like he's adamant. You get rid of Bruno, we improve overnight.
You
Oh,
have
of
to
course,
introduce
of
me to
course.
Ricky, bro. I don't think Ricky
yeah.
knows how much I appreciate his football opinions.
Yeah,
I
man.
used to look at Ricky like 4 or 5 years ago as a crazy guy. And then I'm like, why is he so different than anyone? He has to be up to something. And then you look at the amount of like
He was
Things
ahead.
he's gotten
takes
right.
that were unpopular at the time.
The things he got right. Oh my goodness! It's
You
like,
have to appreciate it.
You have to
you have
respect
to.
it, bro.
And I mean,
Like,
you know what? The first time I listened to him, I say, he's onto something. Like I didn't judge it at the time, and I got in touch with him. I sent him a message or something because I said, this guy, after 2 or 3 games, Maguire assessment, Bissaka assessment,
Yes.
Rashford assessment, Martial. I was like, yeah, love that.
He said, I want you to take a clip of this. Clip this from. I want you to send it. And he was spotlight. The Smalling is better than Maguire. Fact. Like that's objective fact. AWB, like a fish riding a bike. Fact. Like Marcus Rashford.
That's my favorite one, bro. Because
Marcus
Rashford.
Rashford. Marcus, I think he said Marcus Rashford should be playing for Birmingham.
Birmingham, him and Lingard.
Nah, I'm gonna be locked in on that thing.
It's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be more like an interview type. So the concept of the show is I want to interview Man United fans.
Yo, one of the mods, can you put Temmie's channel in the comments, please?
Oh
If
no,
anyone
yeah,
has
yeah.
it.
Appreciate
If
y'all.
not, I'll go
Appreciate
get it
y'all.
myself. Actually,
I appreciate y'all. Yeah, the concept is we're gonna be interviewing Man United fans across the world. Just asking questions, basic questions, and we'll talk a little football. That's it. I'm trying to do something a little different. You feel me? But yeah, man. No, I'm definitely gonna challenge him on the McTominay one. He's a big McTominay guy, so I gotta.
Yeah. And you know what the thing with Rick is, you just know he's honest. So you say,
Of course.
We just disagree on something, and that's fine.
Yeah, it's impossible. It's impossible to agree on everything. I think Victor Lindelof is a good player. Everyone thinks I'm crazy about that. I think he's a good player. Most people think he's shit. It's just it is what it is.
You're
You know what I
crazy
mean?
on that one. I'm gonna be honest.
No, I think he's a good player,
And
bro.
I know Ricky. He rates Lindelof. I think he's sound.
I think Lindelof is I think before last season he didn't have I don't think he had a particularly good season, but no one did, to be fair. But the seasons prior, I think he was comfortably I I think he was comfortably one of our better center backs, bro. Before Varane hopped on the scene, I thought he was way better than Harry Maguire. Like, I didn't even think it was close. Didn't even think it was close, bro.
Guys, not to kill the conversation. Listen, this has been an amazing convo. I'm not gonna lie, but I do
course.
gotta wrap up. We're
No,
touching
facts.
2 hours, so
Facts,
we're gonna
facts.
leave it here for the people to be able to watch on the playback. Because anything over 2 hours, people probably not gonna watch that.
Yeah,
But listen, there's
yeah.
still almost 200 people here. So shout out to everyone who's watched.
Come on.
This
come on.
link that you see in front of you right now on the screen, that's Temmie's channel. He
Appreciate
just
y'all,
hit
man.
500 the other day. So
Appreciate it, man.
congrats on that. But
Appreciate it, man.
we need to get him on 1K ASAP. I see 2 people have subbed, so shout out yourselves.
Much
I need
love,
everyone
man.
here,
Appreciate it.
every person right here, all the 200 people. I need you all go to sub his channel right now because I'm pretty
Appreciate
sure
it,
a
man.
lot of you guys are not sub to him. Because let's be honest, he wasn't having an active year, but the guy's been on his
Yeah.
grind, so we gotta go and support him.
Yeah,
So
man.
go get my guy to 1K as soon as possible. Big up Benito for the super chat saying believe doing the Rashford celebration, bro. I believe I'm gonna sleep well after this show because I'm tired. You know, I still
Yeah,
have a headache.
Facts,
from
bro.
today.
I have not slept, bro. My sleep has been. I did a
It's
stream
just
till midnight. Did a stream till midnight with Footy Carnage, and then woke up at like 6, 7 for the game. Like,
The game, exactly. Painful.
just tired, bro. My parents came in town, so I couldn't take a nap. It's crazy,
Feel
man.
you, bro. Feel you. The things we do to have to watch games internationally, people don't know, bro. But we don't go to games. Yeah, sure, bro. I'd rather go to a game when it's 12 o'clock than to wake up 6 a.m. to watch a game after like
Yeah.
4 hours of sleep.
Half the
But anyway,
people in the
shout out
stadium,
for the
Half-
super chat, guys.
half the people in the stadium are drunk and don't know what's going on anyway.
That's right, bro.
so-
That's the only way they can cope with it. Maybe,
Bro.
maybe if we were drunk, we'd cope with it too,
Yeah,
but it's
bro.
too early for that. But shout out Benito for the super chat, Blaze, Denishan, and Zin Miasi. You better win the league, Zin Miasi, after all that shit talking. But 200 people here, as I said. Make sure you guys leave a like on the video, subscribe to Tim if you haven't yet, get him to 1K, and like the video on your way out. And if you're watching this on the replay, make sure you also leave a like on the video and let us know your thoughts in the comments. I'm gonna be back tomorrow with a couple watch alongs, so make sure you check that out. This video will take you straight to that. So when you get there, just leave an early like, turn on the notification bell, and we'll be watching some ops tomorrow. No hate along. I enjoy watching footy, so let's just watch footy in peace tomorrow. So I'll see you guys then. Shout out obviously Adam for hopping on. Shout out
Love,
to
bro.
Temi and shout out Oski was
Love,
here
bro.
earlier. I'm gonna
Love,
see you
bro.
guys tomorrow. Peace.
Cheers.